talk harmonicas. I think you know a thing or two about that.
Okay.
Is what I've gained out of this whole thing is that you're familiar with harmonicas.
Right.
In 1983, the Lee Oskar harmonica hit stores and the lips of experts and aspiring players alike. Tell me how that came to be and how the company has grown and thrived to where it is today, Lee.
Well, first it came about because, you know, as a guy who plays harmonica, as a guy who people say, "What do you play?" "Oh, I play harmonica." "Oh, really? What else do you play?" You know, you deal with that kind of mentality people have about harmonica. And when I got with Eric Burton and, you know, and Eric Burton and Wall, that little bit of money I made, I could buy up, you know, I could have a few harmonicas, backups, because reeds go out of tune or whatever. They were very, very hard to open up when I had to even fix the harmonica that I had. They were like nails, they weren't screws. And so a lot of things from then, even most, but even way back, tinkering with harmonicas, dreaming what would be a better harmonica, all built up to a point where with the demand for my playing and having Eric Burton and Wall and play very hard, and what existed basically available in the stores was maybe 1 out of every 10 was good. And lucky if I can get the keys or what I need. They would dust it off sometimes even. And then you see guitar players walk in and they got every string, not just the A string, but the B string, every key. They got effect pedals, they got all this other stuff. So that was this, maybe a chip on my shoulder even, like as a harmonica player, like I felt for the harmonica, people like myself, there must be many artists like myself, it should be just as inspiring as an instrument and accessories and all the things like guitar players have, and all the effects and toys. The world for harmonica should be the same. And so I was on a mission then to say, you know, I should find a place that makes harmonicas and connect my ideas. And I tried and I tried, and I couldn't have no results with a few places I tried. And then when I came to Japan and I hear harmonica playing down the other wing in the hallway as I was walking through the elevator, and this translator was following me, and I just took off where the harmonica sound came from, knocked on the door, and an elder man, Japanese, opens the door. I couldn't speak Japanese, and I kind of invited myself in, and looking at his harmonica, it's a tremolo, which is a double reed. And I'm looking at it, and then the guy translator comes up and he explains to, his name was, the elder man was named Kan Manaka. He just passed away a couple of months ago. But I met him then, and then I found out Tombo, T-O-M-B-O, which means dragonfly in Japanese, of this tremolo. I was excited about it. I made sure I can get the name, the contact, which I did. And then who were fans, fortunate of my music, that first solo album I did, they were fans of that. Happened to have a dragonfly in that album too. I had a drawing of that, same name as their manufacturer. Yeah. And so we made arrangements for me to fly back to Japan. And I did that back and forth with the idea, with my ideas and designs and their, you know, because manufacturing is a whole nother world than just, if I customize something, that's still a whole nother world for manufacturing. And so we collaborated, and in 1983, my products, that's machine specially set up, we launched the Lee Oskar Harmonicas. And then to make a very important point, they are this year, 1917 is when they were established. So this year it's 100th anniversary. Wow. We are now 2017. And they're going, 4 generations going on 5, and it's 35 years for me now, manufacturing with them. And I heard stories when I first started with the great-grandfather, with the finding the right alloys and brass, what they went through to find the perfect solution, all the stuff that they're proud of in times when there were other harmonica manufacturers who said, you know what, let's make furniture. We're not making money on harmonicas. But they were very dedicated for musical instruments, for the harmonicas. You know, that I have to earn my place. And fortunately, they believed in me. And now, almost 35 years later, we are, you know, successful harmonicas all over the world. And I think I've earned my place in the family, with the Mata family.
Wow. Yeah. So what should a person expect to spend to get a decent harmonica, and how much care and upkeep do they require?
Well, if it's specific to Lee Oskar Harmonicas, they all the same price. So it's a whole system. Before I can answer, well, the price itself, right now, MAP, M-A-P, minimum advertising price. The minimum advertising price is $41.99. $61.99 is the suggested retail price. $41.99 is the MAP price. They're all the same price. The reed plates are about half the price. So once you have worn out reeds, but once a reed is fatigued like a guitar string, you rebuild your harmonica for a little over half the price and put them in, rather than just buying a whole new harmonica. So it's all interchangeable parts. The reed plates, the cover plates. It's designed for, it's very airtight, no air leakage. The brass has more carbon, it's great response. It's a real instrument. And the quality control is consistent and amazing. I'm proud to say that I've been manufacturing then for 35 years, but more than the amount of time I've been manufacturing is that I'm proud to say it's the same product. It's not like I've been in business 35 years and I'm still trying to figure out what would make the best harmonica and come out, spend a lot of money on molds and stuff and see what sticks. It's one product, it's the same system for all these years, and yet potentially it's huge compared to even the usage today we have. There's so much potential because all the people that even use the Oskar harmonicas, they're still not aware about the other tunings or haven't applied them. And the other tunings are unbelievable. So you can play reggae, you can play ska, you can play African music like the clave, you can play Yiddish music, you can play the tango, you can play, you name it, between the 4 tunings we make, major diatonics, melody maker, natural minor, harmonic minor. So the whole system allows you to, for different genres of music, you can mix and match the reed plates to come out with other tunings as well. So I can come up with a Dorian scale. There's so many, and each one of them is the same price. So if you buy all of the harmonicas, 43 different 10-hole harmonicas we make right now, you know, multiply that to times 40 some bucks, you know, one harmonica is, of course, is a lot less than a guitar. But if you buy all the keys and all the tunings, it's like Legos. It's amazing. You can compose songs, melodies, or not songs, but melodies, hook lines. Because like no other instrument, I can take an A natural minor and I can take a G melody maker, let's say, and I can play this chord and that chord or this chord or that chord. Wow, I can compare things and A and B things that you can't do in any other instrument unless you're a virtuoso and know how to know all the different inversions in every key. Mm. You know, most people haven't had a learning curve. They only know a couple of chords. That's why a lot of people, when they write songs means melody and lyrics. In my opinion, the lyrics can be very unique. is very mundane. So if, let's say, the song becomes very popular and a jazz guy's going to do an instrumental of it, it would sound very mundane. You wouldn't even recognize it. It doesn't have much of a hook. A lot of people have songs that the melodies are not even that unique. And the reason why is they start with playing 2 or 3 chords and they're on the guitar. Maybe they know an E minor chord to a G major, that's relative right there, to a C, to an A minor, or something like that. And maybe that's all they know. They sing something, but the chords will dictate where a melody is going to go or not go. So they're starting to reverse. It's like if I paint a window, but I paint a shape, well, what do you dictate which way the sun is coming from? So if you come up with a melody, which you can take harmonicas and just make up stuff and find something, wow, that's cool. Oh man, that's a cool little melody. Now, if you can put behind that melody, you can have like 2 or 3 different choices of chords behind that same melody that'll make the melody move different ways. I think a better way if you're going to have something unique. And so harmonicas, great for not even for playing, but also for composing hook lines and melodies for singer-songwriters.
Wow, interesting. So, and do you have some instruments there you were gonna show us?
First of all, these, one of them is right here, gold-plated.
It's a beauty.
I'm gonna have 3 sent to you, gold-plated, that's signed by Hale Brown, Howard Scott, and myself. Okay.
Awesome.
And those three, you're going to give to your biggest fan. So all you people out there, if you heard what I'm saying, if you want to win one of these harmonicas, all right, you write into Scott and tell Scott just how much you love the show. And you pick 3 winners.
Great. Thanks.
All right, Scott?
That sounds awesome. Thanks, Lee.
You got it. And let me show you something here. These tunings. See, there's the major diatonics, 14 keys. The blue is the melody maker,
a little higher.
5 keys.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. Major diatonic, orange label, 14 keys. The blue label is the melody maker in 5 keys. Natural minor, the green label, in 12 keys. Harmonic minor is the yellow label in 12 keys. And they have different scales. And no matter what key, the pattern is the same. If I take a major diatonic, like the major diatonic, and if I play a C major diatonic, can't go wrong. I got a C chord anywhere. You didn't have to learn where to put your fingers to hit a C note, an E note, and a G note. On the guitar, you got it. If I draw, I got a G7. So the European Oompa music. Or the blues, the American blues. Oh.
That sounds familiar.
So you either can play C major or whatever the key it is. If it's an A major diatonic, A major, E, whatever the key is, but from the draw, it's the 5 to it. So a C harp, you're playing G. A G blues, a G mixolydian scale, and you got low right on that. Then you got, let me just here. So that's the major. Then you got the melody maker, the blue one. And here's a G melody maker. And now I got major 7th on the draw, not a G7, but a major 7. It's like sunshine. Then when you blow, you got the minor 2nd. So if I go like a reggae, See, that's the seventh there. Or like a claret. So you got that African there, and you got in a sentimental mood. You know, so the melody maker. So that's the melody maker. And then you got, this is cool because this is even good for hip hop. Because, you know, hip hop basically is minor mode. And this is the natural minor. So you go. It's great for Latin, minor blues. This is really cool. Like minor, which I call the international blues, because in the world harmonic minor is used. It'll tear your heart out when you play this. Minor, and the only way to get happy is to speed up the music. Like, you know, it go.
All right.
So they had different purposes,
Wait,
but they all can.
is there one of those that's mostly your go-to? Which one would you use the most in your normal performance?
Depends on the mode the music is in. Most of the time I use the least of these days is the major diatonic. That's what most people use, the major diatonic. I love my melody makers. I love the natural minors and harmonic minors. Yeah. Even if I play a blues, because you know it's just a simple technique called bending. I can play a melody maker. I don't play the chords. So then I can get that the -7 to the 7. See? So musically, I have a ability on the melody maker, even to play a blues. But if somebody's playing like them, don't use a melody maker, play blues, because then you see, because they got the major 7th and the -2nd. You don't want to play chords for blues. You want to play chords for reggae, African music. You want to play chords on the melody. You know, so it depends on your technique. there's a lot of sweet spots on a melody maker for my playing that I can do that much more than a major light tonic.
Wow, well, thank you for the harmonica lesson and performance. That was awesome.
Thank you.
And actually, you're giving some instruction now through some guitar player articles. Is that right?
Oh, it's a booklet. Thank you for reminding me, because I want to share it. There's a booklet. Since we are promoting harmonicas around the world, anybody, you know, we have a thing called Lee Oskar Harmonicas All For Life, and in this campaign, I think everybody should be playing Lee Oskar Harmonicas. You know, you choose your in the modes. And to guitar players and singer-songwriters and guitar players, ukulele players, people that have music theory, like this booklet that we put together on the 4 different tunings, and then the website shows in every key. At least people that play a little guitar can a bit about theory. That harmonica is more than just playing folk and blues. People always think of folk and blues. That's what they think because of the major light tonics. Look at this and then say, man, I can pick up a natural minor or a melody maker. I can play R&B, jazz, you know, I can, or you know, funk, hip hop. I mean, it's just very basic. This is not even for virtuosos. This is for what the harmonica will play you. It's not even giving you techniques. It's just showing you these different tunings and how well it sits without even techniques. And that's a big mission of us, is to promote harmonicas play and use in all genres of music. I believe it's happening. I believe it's going to be happening more and more. You know.
Why don't you tell them what URL website is that at, Lee?
Simple way is just go to leeoskar.com, and then on the top of the menu you'll see it says Quick Guide. To a website called leeoskarquickguide.com. You can go to leeoskarquickguide.com. Make sure Oscar is with a K. LEEOSKAR.com or OSKAR. Quick Guide. leeoskarquickguide.com. So the Quick Guide. Once you're there, you gotta register. Put in whatever information you want to have first, and then you can log in. We might change it down the road, but it's only to protect our intellectual property so we don't get spammed and all this other stuff. And once you're in there, you're going to see for piano, ukulele, guitar, you see every key and all the different tunings you make, what's available. And there's videos also that demonstrates.
All right, so no one has an excuse not to give the harmonica a try.
Sorry?
I said no one has an excuse not to give the harmonica at least a try.
Oh yeah, especially one that you don't have to twist your brain and everything when it fits the mode of what you want to do. You know, you don't have to learn all these techniques.
So Lee, before we wrap things up, I want to talk about what you're up to presently. You talked about maybe doing some scoring and those kinds of things. But I know you've been, working with Howard and Harold. And so, what are some of the top things at the top of the queue for Lee Oskar right now?
For me right now, it's focusing a lot on producing and publishing, basically to get music in a lot of people's hands, whether they're an artist, singer, songwriter, artist, or somebody who performs things, an artist, or commercials, television, or movie themes. I have many spins with the music I see potentially. With the Lowrider band, likewise, we using like 3 tunes to start with. Since today it's like back when you had 45s, it's like one tune at a time streaming. And we're going to start with our own fans. And we're going to build out from our own fans. We're going to get to enjoy having a listen to a new product. And that's, so musically speaking, I want to touch on all angles from to the business of it. Live performances, I call ourselves a rare commodity. And friends is a rare commodity because, like, I'm going to South Korea to do a big concert. Like, I'm being asked, and I'm on just like Lowrider Band. We're not these big tours and you know, that's worth a while, like big concerts. We just do one here, one there, once in a while. So I think this is the time now, because traveling is a lot out of you, is to enjoy producing. I love producing and composing, and then get the music out to a lot of people to hear. And then when the time happens, then we'll be like that rare commodity. We'll go out and perform live too, which I always love doing, you know, playing live. But I'm really focusing on.
So for people to keep abreast of what's happening, they need to go to your website and also to the Lowrider Band website or Facebook.
Yeah, I think pretty much there's leeoskar.com, or there's the Facebook, and then also, of course, there are things that you can go and see. That's a Lowrider Band. Some of the stuff is, you know, we got people in my company who are Facebooks and all that, so I'm sure it's like be one beautiful place. Well, we all have platforms, if you will, but I think they connect. But if you want to find out more about either myself or as Lowrider Band, you can go to either site. Just go to leeoskar.com. Sure, you will find out about Lowrider Band, or if you go to lowriderband.com, that's what I'm doing too, because we are going to connect. I'll go to both.
And the harmonicas are available at most major music stores. Is that the place to go?
Yeah, most retail music instrumental retail, so MI music stores. Always carry the whole line. Some stores cherry pick and carry, you know, the most common keys. But they're available everywhere. All brick and mortar stores.
My last question, Lee, is, you know, after all that you've done and all you're yet to do, but looking back, you know, what is the biggest, I already asked you what the biggest thrill was, but how do you keep the music, how do you keep it fresh, especially when you're going back and doing things that you've done many times before, you know, particular composition, playing, you know, maybe a part that you've played so many times before? How do you keep it fresh and interesting for yourself?
You know, I'm never conscious of that, but one thing to answer you is, there's a composition that I feel so much in love, and the tune called "So Much in Love," and then there's a guy, Miyazaki, out of Japan, amazing saxophone player who I'm producing, and he's doing he's going to be doing an album. He's doing an album, and I'm producing all Lee Oskar compositions, so I can feature my compositions. That's the idea. It's all, you know, Lee Oskar's harmonica, but hearing another texture doing gives more life to the compositions than just thinking it's harmonica. So anyhow, I'm producing this thing, and all tracks that I originally did, and it had electric guitar. I said, you know, let's take that out. Let's put an acoustic guitar there. And Brian Maroney, who is a great guitar player who plays for Lee Oskar and Friends, had him come in and put some acoustic guitars on. And man, it just it just gave it a whole nother vibe, you know. So as an example there, sometimes the things that back in the days, well, we had that electric guitar was more prevalent. It's refreshing to hear like acoustic guitar playing those rhythms. But other than that, what I look forward to is not as much what I've done. I look forward to what I haven't done yet. That's what keeps me inspired, Scott. I mean, what keeps me excited is I'm an idea man. So whatever I'm visualizing here in the future is what keeps me want to get up in the morning and get going and be creative. None of the stuff I've done in the past. So I tend to lean on whatever in a moment inspires me, and I assume that's as fresh as it can be.
What advice would you have for a young person starting out in the music industry now, or a career in music? You know, if you were able, you know, if 18-year-old Lee Oskar came to America now, you know, what kind of advice would you give?
The first thing I would say is if you're really loyal to your arts, then there's no compromise. And you may not be able to eat with, make money from the music, but you gotta be loyal to your arts. And with that said, you gotta take responsibility. Business works. You don't have to be smart at it, but take responsibility by just understanding fundamental things. And if you don't know, don't be afraid to ask questions. No matter how good your music is, and if a machine is you're gonna plug it into a machine or the industry, they're gonna hype you. And hyping is one of the tools that's called promotion. And the last thing you want to do is buy your own hype. So understand how business works. Take the arts. That's it.
There's some good words of wisdom from a man who has lived it.
Say one more thing.
Yeah.
And you only earn what you know how to claim.
So before we part ways, I want to remind viewers again about this amazing generous giveaway from Lee Oskar Harmonicas of the gold-plated harmonica signed by Lee and Harold Brown and Howard Scott. Yeah, so look out for the URL of that. We'll promote that, and I think we're going to do it through the end of the month. So thank you for that, Lee. And you know, with that, it's time to wrap up this edition. So, you know, a huge thanks to Lee Oskar again, the harmonica player for our times. Thank you again so much for sharing your experiences and giving us a harmonica lesson.
You're welcome. Thank you for having a show and what you do, because it certainly helps support all of us as artists. Appreciate it.
That's what it's about, man. Real music by real musicians. So be sure to look out for upcoming episodes of Truth and Rhythm, and catch up on other installments at funkinstuff.net and on YouTube. Podcasts on iTunes and other leading podcast providers. If you're an artist or music industry figure and you're interested in being on the show, or you're a fan who wants to see somebody on the show, write me at scottg@funkinstuff.net and we'll try to get it done. And until next time, on behalf of Lee Oskar,
thank you.
This is Scott, Dr. Jakes Goldfine, saying keep on vibrating to the rhythm of the one.